All righty, and we are live, so we want to welcome everybody to Midday Cafe, and just the two of us today. I'm Mike Giannotti, and
I'm Jim Warner.
And we are coming to you, well, you're watching this not live, I was going to say live, but we're coming to you on this Monday midday. We just got a little bit of things. I actually have a bunch of catch up. I got to post the last couple of ones up today, so I'm going to be busy doing that. And but we do have some exciting news, some stuff around SharePoint. And Jim, you're going to share that?
Yeah, I sure am. Want to jump into it?
Yeah, jump right in.
All right. Yeah, so a couple announcements that were recently made that are rolling out to tenants worldwide in September. So you might already be seeing some of these changes. Yep. So one of them is the addition to the navigation switcher. So now you can actually change between horizontal and vertical navigation on your sites. So this will, you can turn it on completely if you don't want it as well. But it basically changes the navigation orientation to, to really get a different look and feel for the layouts and, alignment styles. Yeah, it's something that we never really offered before. So as a site admin, you can go into, site navigation or settings, change the look and navigation. And in the navigation panel, you can choose to show or hide the site navigation. And you can choose either vertical or horizontal orientation.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, and just for awareness, the mega menu style is only available if you choose a horizontal orientation. You will not get that. You will lose that if you go to the vertical.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Worldwide September rollout, you might see pop into sites, some sites before other sites. That's a known behavior, but for the most part, it's it's rolling out now. Yeah, and I think that's it for the navigation switcher.
Cool. Well, that's pretty cool though. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Where'd you say you see that at? That's an admin?
That's in the, yeah, you got to be a site admin.
Yep.
Right, settings, change the look, and then navigation.
Site settings, view all settings, change the look. Oh, navigation. Here we go, change the look. And I'm pretty excited about it. You got me all like, hey, oh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. A small little change, but it could be pretty cool.
I don't have it yet.
Oh, you don't have it yet. Darn it.
But that's all right.
Yeah. Check a different site. You might have it there.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
What else you got for us?
So the other one is hub-to-hub associations. So for a long time, you could set up a hub site with a hub and spoke, right? But now you can actually associate a hub site with another parent hub site. And that way you get to, it enables to discover relevant content, right? When searching on any sites related to the hub, main hub, and any associated hubs.
That's I mean, I know a lot of people have been asking for that. That was my first question when I saw it. I was like, well, wait a minute. What if I want to make this my hub?
Right. And this has been evolving, right, over the years, right? You could have only X number of hub sites and, in the beginning, but now this is just a continuation. Yeah. This
is kind of like the Lord of the Rings edition. One hub to rule them all.
There you go. I love it. Okay, so really there's no visual changes. The SharePoint administrator can do this, right? They can associate hubs to other sites. And when you do, there's no visual changes to the user experience except for when the users search for content.
So it's really just, it pertains just to the search component then.
Right, but you can also push branding down just like you could, with any other site. So any of that that you can push down to a typical in a hub and spoke scenario, you can still take advantage of that as well.
One question, because hopefully you know this. So let's say I wanted to maintain the branding, right? Because I got these other branded portals for HR and whatever, right? but I want to
Yep.
tie them now to the master hubs, and I want to take advantage of that search, and I want to push the master navigation from the top. Can I do that?
I believe that is in scope. Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can either, you can inherit that, or you could block that as well.
Because the only reason why I bring that up, I've had customers ask me when we've talked about the hub sites and then flattening their org and doing stuff like that. They're like, look, we want to do the branding different here, but we want to have that unified, and I can fake it by, replicating that nav. But that would really go a long way. That's kind of cool. So you could have that real cohesive, single kind of org feel, less like ours, where you just kind of, I'm here, then I'm here, then I'm here.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, and it actually, so when a user does search for information, right, you'll actually see that. So in the breadcrumbs, you'll actually see that association, and it'll flow from, parent hub to associated hub down through whatever, where you're searching through.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anything else on SharePoint?
No. Oh, the timing on this is September as well. So this will be rolling out. It is in the process of rolling out right now.
Yep. Very cool. So that's a lot. I mean, the beauty of it is, again, if you're using SharePoint Modern Framework, this is all stuff that then can apply to Viva Connections.
Right. Absolutely.
So
I love it.
Yeah, you gotta sing it. I mean, come on. So the Viva Connections, if you haven't been looking, they released the previews out. I've been messing around in a couple of my tenants. Keep this in mind, though, as you make stuff go live. And remember, you have to go into the Teams admin area. And when you're in the admin, you go to the apps and you go to the policies, app policies. And that's where you can say, hey, I want this to appear. You can tie it to a site. Then you can say the order. But keep this in mind. When you make it go live, it can take up to 48 hours when you save. So like I played around with a couple of tenants this morning, saved them. I'm like, keep hitting the refresh because I'm impatient. And I'm like, yeah, I need to just chill and go on to something else.
Right. Yep.
Come back.
Yeah, that's a good way to expand that, right? And kind of get that news delivery even more. It makes it a little bit more potent. So I will say, so targeted release starts in September. It'll actually roll out in standard in mid-October.
Gotcha. So, and then the last thing too, if you have not seen it, I guess I'll throw this on to kind of go along with the whole Viva piece. They've updated some of the documentation around some of those areas. There's a whole, because now you don't have to, for example, with the preview, you're not going to have to go in and run a bunch of scripts. That's all nice. Coming into the admin console. I mean, they're just making it a lot easier. But if you did run them, that's still valid. So don't think that you lose anything. You can just maintain what you did through that. It's going to work the exact same. And they even reference that. But definitely for the other documentation, they've been steadily updating, and a lot of information there. So be sure to take a look. And I guess that's about, I do have one thing. I have one more thing.
All right, one more. So this comes about from, I got dragged into not one of my direct customers, but another one that falls under HLS, and it was around live events. And so I'll include some links, but a couple of things I just want to quick call out. Live events are one of those things that's great to leverage the power of it. You can do them internal, external. Just use Teams as your, basically your studio client to broadcast the stuff out. But there are some things you need to make sure. And so, number one, from a pushing it out standpoint, and again, I'll have links to the documentation. You need to make sure that the path
for that video going out. Remember, although it looks like Teams, it's actually Azure Media Services. And that's something they're like, well, wait a minute, we already configured everything to optimize for team meetings. It's not the same. It's not even remotely the same. So you're pushing out a video via RTMP behind the scenes. It's going to Azure Media Services. You need to make sure that that channel has a straight shot. It's not getting constricted. If you have, with firewall setups and stuff, or if the user pushing out is remote, you need to make sure, that that's allowed for with the firewalls, and also for your VPN, right, that you're split tunneling. So any of the traffic to and from Azure Media Services, not the regular stuff, is split tunneled and not running through there and getting constricted. So that's number one. Number two, the same thing goes for your end users, but for the receptors, those people receiving, typically, again, split tunneling you want to make sure is enabled for them for that, for your remote users. For on-premise, you really should be looking at an ECDN. Microsoft, we did just acquire one. It's plug-in free, leveraging browser settings, and that applies to the Teams client as well. But you want to do that, or one of our third-party, like great partners like Hive, Collective, and there's a few, Ramp, I think Riverbed. So be looking at ECDN so you optimize the traffic delivery and not, again, choking out a local area network segment. And then the final thing, just to throw this out there because it's come up time and time again, and they're a partner, but you need to work with them around ensuring that the traffic is not flowing through their piece. And that is around, oh shoot, dang, I just had a brain cramp. They're a hosted service, Zscaler.
Oh.
So Zscaler is very popular with a lot of companies' service. They do packet inspection. Number one, if they're inspecting your packets, either going out to Azure or coming back to watch your host. Number two, just because you turn off packet inspection for that, if you're still routing traffic through their service, that's an extra hop that's taking place out on the internet before it gets to your people. That's not a good thing. So you want to make sure that traffic is bypassing for that piece. Otherwise, you're going to have, at least that's what I've seen to date, both outgoing and incoming. I've seen ongoing issues, and that's where I've seen here with this customer, and I've seen it in the past with others. And they do a great job with their service for all kinds of stuff, very popular. But for video, we want it to, this is not the same as a file, right? It's not a pass through and imperceptible to the user. Those things are going to affect the video performance. You're going to get the spinning wheel of death, and you don't want any of that.
All right.
And that is all I got. So check the documentation, and yeah, there we go. Anything else from you?
No, I'm good. Thanks for the update for the live events.
Yeah. And that's it, I guess. Short and sweet this week. And again, I owe people I owe 3 posts. I've been very busy. And so we'll get those out today. But that's it for me. Mike Giannotti.
Jim Warner, we'll talk to you later.
Have a great day, everyone.